So, okay. Yes, I do this one. The official clarinettist kills the music. Yeah, we'll speak about.
Okay.
Why and what and why we have to speak about. I think we are the teacher and the student. We have together, and sometimes it's the different part we have located, but we have the same boat. Okay, it's the same the title of this. When every side, I think now who is studying, he will be later the teacher, and it's very, very important what he can do in the future when he was the student and he remember and following this. I like to speak about. It's very, very interesting. The old time, the big clarinet players and the big virtuos making the clarinet school, the etude book. It was enough. And now is have the clarinet books and method book. It's very, very interesting. Why? And why we can do for this one. Maybe in the old time was virtuos people and play the music. And now we have, as a very, very many clarinet students have. Now we are speak about only the clarinet. Okay, now the music student, music school, we are speak only the clarinet. Many have student have, and sometimes it is the new world. New world. Many clarinet student need many clarinet, need many reed, sometimes mouthpiece, and notes. We can look at this direction in the last century. In the 1918 till 1945, every year sell 45,000 saxophone. Every year. It's okay, it was the very famous instrument. Need the music materials. It was the big job. Same with the cool music. Now I make the cool music and have the very special repertoire. Have the composer. It's making the, we are saying, the color book. The blue is the marching. Red is the waltz. The brown book, it's have the international melody. We have the lila. The lila, it is the evergreens classic music, humoresque, and so on, Lully Menuet, and so on, so on, so on. It's needed. And now we, I think, arrived. We are teaching the automatic student, the automatic way. I think if you can understand it, I was at home and I have a job in the National Philharmonic Orchestra. It's the biggest orchestra in Hungary. And the conductor, Zoltán Kocsis, called me and say, I made a piece and my clarinet player cannot so good playing for this, but I like. Could you come in the next week? We have a risk. I say, well, excuse me, these people is my colleague, my friend. What he say about when I go and I play is not so good. And he say, no problem. I give money. I am a boss and I say you cannot play, shut up, go out, you play. I say, wow, not. And he write some jazzy piece, he writes some klezmer, some Hungarian style. And the big clarinet player cannot play. Wow! And I say, why? What's happened? And I sit in the orchestra. And as many good friends I have there, I say, wow, good, oh, okay. And I say, it was the humor. You cannot, nothing. You cannot play nothing. I say, why? Well, I say, if I switch out the lamp, it's have the darkness. You cannot play nothing. Laughing. Yes, of course. Yes, the notes. Sometimes we have the reproduction. I don't know, you look in the music museum, is have the piano with the roll piano, the roll mechanic. Is a very good pianist, one time is play, and it's have with the old computer system, is the paper with a was the lock.
Walls, yeah.
Yes.
Perforated.
Yes. Okay. You know this about? It's have the same piano, but work with the roll paper. And if I take out the roll paper, the piano cannot do nothing. Okay. Now I change back for the clarinet. If we have a very good players, and Nomi, you are very good players, and what you can do? I say, no notes, no nothing. What you can do? Sometimes it is a big problem. I like to ask, which musician are you? Which have for the big fantasy? Could you spring about for the everyday, the practicing and the skills and the etudes? Could you use this technique when you have for the music? When we know it, the old composer, Mozart, Brahms, Beethoven, Liszt, was a very big improvisator. He can improvising. He can very good playing his instrument, but he can just a new work making for the instrument, and just the time. It's okay. A little bit later, he is composing and write it. If I was in New York, I listened this story by the New York Philharmonic Orchestra. Was a very famous flutist and oboist. The flutist, the name was Julius Baker. Sometimes you listen about Julius Baker name is sometimes it was okay. He was the biggest flutist in the world before Rampal. That's why I bought as a one generation before. And the oboist maybe is a Ray Steele. Ray Steele a little bit later go to Chicago, no more in New York. And Leonard Bernstein was the conductor and say, please, the first flutist and the first oboist come in my office. And the two people who cannot say good afternoon or good morning or no communication, no speaking, and go to the office of Bernstein, and Bernstein said, excuse me, gentlemen, you are very good musician, and you as no more when you can speaking, you cannot communication. It is the orchestra, is the big family, and so on and so on. And the baker stand up and say, I like to say for you as my statement, for this room was only one good musician, and go out. It's the true story. You know, as about 3 generations before, when Bernstein was very young conductor, it's happened. And now it is a little bit just another. You know, sometimes now is have the conductor and have the robots and say a little bit more, please, and more. And sometimes it's not so important. If I speak I was in Chicago, and I was my master, Larry Combs. If I was young, I don't know, it was a long, long years ago. And before 3 years ago or 2 years ago, I meet Larry Combs in Japan, and ask, what do you do now? And say, I am freelance. Wow, he say, you are now again a musician. You know, it's very, very interesting. It's not only my problem, it sometimes is the world problem. And I think now we have to go back. Okay, I think about what I can do, my knowledge, when I work about in my life about. In Hungary, I can say the Hungary is the 5 years as the grand music school. After 4 years is the middle level, and more 5 years or 6 years for the doctor or the PhD. 6 and 7, it's about 15 years. Every day I have to practice, I have to work about, and so on, so on. It's too much knowledge. What I can do for this knowledge? Wow, how I can rebuilding my fantasy for this piece when I play. How I can play, where is the board? When I am say, okay, it is the mind, is the mind individualist, when I play for this, and it is the Mozart. Or I say, it is my Mozart. The publicum is very, very interesting. What is your opinion about the composer or about this piece? When now, for example, the Mozart concerto you can buy about 50 recording or more. If you go to the YouTube, you can listening more 100. You have many, many different kind about the Mozart. Which is the good Mozart for you? What you think about? It is okay. I think I respectful Mr. Mozart, and it is my way. I have to go. You listen about. In the old, now I have the white hair, and I can speak about, in the old school, you can listen a clarinet player and say, oh yes, he is the English clarinet player. Oh yes, it is the Italian. Oh yes, it is a German player. It is an Austrian player, and so on, so on, so on. You listen to the different. And now this time, everything is uniform. Everybody use Buffet or Zelmer or Yamaha, not so much, and Van Doren, and Van Doren reed or Rico reed. Sometimes it's all used for 75% use for this instrument and reed. Where is the individual? If I was young, I play in the Budapest Opera House and was very nice, two old flutist. You know, if I can beginning, it was the 1976, and the very nice old colleague can play together with Richard Strauss, conducting Clemens Krauss for the very big conductor. Go to Hungary. The Hungarian Opera House was very famous with the Wien and Scala and Rome and Hungary and so on and so on. The stars go in circle for this one, and later for the New York. And the old colleague played together and played just another time. And one time we are played together with a Midsummer Night for Mendelssohn. And you know the scherzo. and I play here. We and the dancing. It was very, very nice. And was a young conductor saying, no, 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 I like to very exactly. Tam taka taka ta 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 tam taka taka ta ta ta. And the two very nice old people look together and say, okay, ta 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 ta. And to say, you and the conductor say for him, you look, yes, it was really good. And the first flutist say, yes, it was good, but where is the Kunst? Where is the artist? Where is the art? I play. It's the big question. It is the big question. How I can work about? Where is the way I speak about? How I can arrive when I meet this problem? How I can play? And what is the style this time now? What is the really when I good for Mozart and it's safe for me? You play really Mozart, or say I am individualist. What I can, how if I am student, okay? What I can play? I go to the lesson and I listen my teacher, and sometimes I wait about the instruction. He say, why? Okay, this tempo. It is the tempo, and you play for legato. You play for the piano, and you play for forte. You have some another opinion about. You have to pay this one. And what you communication your teacher? Have you a little bit for the revolutionary and say no, it's not good. My opinion is good, and I like to. And how you can live the music? How you can live the music? It's the same. The Eva Wasserman one time come from Hungary. It's very, very early. And I pick up him by the airport. And the first come one airplane from Larnaca, Cyprus. And another, hi, hello, hello, come from Israel. And the Larnaca is falling down, and was some the Hungarian folk.
Good evening.
Good evening. Was the Hungarian folk meeting, and come the Cypriot is the Greek dancing group with the musician. And wait for a Hungarian bus. It was very early, and the bus was a little bit too late, and the people cannot do nothing. It was very early, and sometimes open the bag, and was the 1 liter. 1 liter
Palinka.
brandy, palinka, yeah, and many glasses take and drink. And one is sometimes whistling. Everybody is smiling and say, take your instrument, and take a guitar, and making everything, it was okay. And after come the dancing and make very early morning, drink another, and come the Hungarian bus. Come to Hungary, whoa, wow, come on, dancing. And by the airport, they are dancing, meeting, 5 minutes. After over, wow, it's everything, it's okay. And go out, take back for the music instrument, go in the bus, and have the neon again. And the people was go back, in the morning, the airport is everybody. Let's go the robot. It's not nothing. But it was the sunshine, the Greek, the music, the dance. It's live. Okay, but this musician cannot reading the note. He was a very autodidact. I don't know you are reading the book of Yehudi Menuhin, The Human Music. It is the book. And he said about at the 50 page. He was in Hungary and very good know the Hungarian gypsy musician. And have some the crossover piece. Vittorio Monti Csárdás and Gade, Zsorúzi Tango, and so on, so on, so on. And he say, the Vittorio Monti Csárdás I play this gypsy violinist. We was the same school. My teacher was, I don't know who, and his teacher was the same. He played the Stradivari, I play also the Stradivari. His music life, my music died. And Menuhin write, the music has finito, had killed. Why? We have another possibility, and the young gypsy, it was the history, not now, about 30-40 years ago. The young gypsy boy, 5 or 6 years old or 8 years old, have the very nice clothes and go together with his father or grandpa in the pub and sit and listen to music. And it was a very nice Hungarian gypsy music play. And in the break, he go to the band and try the instrument, try the cymbal, try the contrabass, the clarinet, and so on, and the musician help for him. After he go back at home, and his grandfather or father make and work together. He was the first teacher without note and show how you can do and what you can do. It is just another way and work everything in the head. We are said when, as the very famous Hungarian gypsy Primarius, the first violin player, has died, lost 10,000 lead sung. It's okay, come the new one, and every time is changed, but I ask when who teach, why not we can try it another, not reading the music in note, play here. Sometimes the same with the computer. Have a memory, I have to push the materials in memory, and after I can developing. We are made today, and after you can play very well, and was no problem. How I can work? The repeating, but no mechanical repeating. Have to concentrating. It is the big problem. How long I can concentrating when I practice, and I think it is the first problem, the modern school. The materials, when we are playing the Francais concerto or the bass clarinet, is very, very technical. And I think the normal concentrating about 1 hour and 1.5 hours between is moving for each other. But need 2 hours, need 3 hours or more. And it is the big problem. After the 1 or after the 1.5 or everything it's take for the automatically. And which is the first when I lost my memory. Why? When I don't need it. I read. No thing here. Only read. So tomorrow, the second place, I have to show and I have to take for you some different idea about how you can developing, how you can a little bit longer making for the concentrating. It's okay. The one way you are drink, or have another. If I was young and I ask my old teacher, we are play together in the opera. Excuse me, I am a music academy student and I work here. What I can do, I have not concentrating more. And he say, okay, you making for the very hot water and you food take for this one and you can practice more half hour. So okay, yes, it's maybe. But how I can make for a longer, tomorrow I will speak about. But only one sentence. It's very interesting. In the music school and the grand level music school, it's very important, the technical education. And if I was in Hungary or German or England or everywhere, for example here in Italy, it was very important how I can play the very security, the clarinet. No, without the gixer, without the mistakes, without how I can very fast for the very basic technical education. It's okay. It's only one side, the technical education. And where is the music? Making make we and working we are about more for a music education, or we work very too much time with a technical education. What I can say, I know which is the best in the music teacher. When say this semester I made some concert. Come this. And who can play for this piece? And come the friends for the mother and for father and the grandfather, grandmother, and very interesting how my student can play there. And when he played the mistakes, he cannot find notes. You know, he's come back and he's sometimes making for many mistakes and so on. I work and I concentrating about the technical education. It is good or not. I think sometimes the first is the music. And I think we have to concentrating the music. And how I can make it this is very important. It is the second question. It is the technique. Sometimes it is the big problem when I cannot play how I can make the music. It's okay, but I can make the technical education, how I can make the music. Now is a little bit changed. And now we have to work more about the music. My professor say the young student have to give the best instrument. And I think about why. You know, in the marketplace, you go to the music shop and have to look. It is the student model. It is the professional model. And it is the high school model. And why? It is the same wood, or sometimes a cheaper wood. I know, I ask for Mr. Hammerschmidt, I say, the different for a good level wood and not so good level wood, it's have only 50, 70 euros. He say, the mechanical I have to, the same, the mechanic is same. Okay, you say it's gold plated or silver plated or but now the student model have also silver plated. It sometimes is nothing. Where is the big money different for the models? The student models about 1,000 euro, 800,000 euro. The Chinese is 100, but it's just another category. You know? And the super, the master model is about 5,000. Where is this big? And why? And why? When you cannot, for the stamps is not so okay. You cannot use the student model, cannot use for the professional model. It's okay, the price is only the one side, okay? Another side for me is very, very important. The best clarinet, the best mouthpiece, the best reed is very, very important. For example, the piano student, it is no problem. It's every piano, he go over the world, sit before the piano and make A minor is A minor. Could you try it? Okay, try my clarinet. I give you. You can play. For example, we are no pianists, but say, I go to New York, I have a concert, and the New York colleagues say, okay, in the concert houses have a clarinet, I give you. You can play. It has the Buffet Prestige or Selmer signature. You can find what you can, and you play the concert. No, I take mine. Okay? Where is the difference? Why? Okay, the optimal, if I think. I have a student and it's have the as a very good instrument. What I can say is okay, wood, absolute okay for the key work and the stamps is no problem. The spring also, have a good mouthpiece, a good reed with ligature, and he can make the music. When it's very easy. And now we go back to the old time for the virtuous clarinet player. Make some notebook, etude book. We know the Berman, Krupsch, Close is full. Okay, only the technical problem. Only the technical problem. Why? When the music problem not was so big problem, can made it. And now we have to work about. Sometimes I think it will be changed, and we have to go back with the old system. We need the music. How I was played in the interclarinet as the group. The 5 clarinet come together. The bass clarinet player come from Berlin Philharmoniker. Another clarinet player come from Wiener Philharmoniker. Another Wiener Radio Orchestra. One from Munich, and me. And we play together. Everybody play Hammerschmidt, but we play as the different town, different style. We come together and we can play together. Why? I think it is a very interesting tradition, and sometimes say, for my best clarinet friend, Abado, conducting some Mozart piano concert the last week, and the adagio, his leave for me a little bit more freedom here. Please, you try it. We wait for you. Why you play in the tempo? Say for the Wiener. And the Wiener say, okay, Mr. Schulte was here and conducting the Così fan tutte. And the Larghetto, he made it this one. And I like if you come a little bit, the bass a little bit weight about. Oh. And it's a little bit longer, and I say, yeah, well, good, and okay. And sometimes the different kind of the music is come together, but leave about the style. And the music is the same with the chorals in the mer, in the sea, the chorals. The chorals is the very, very small animals, you know, and and it has died and work together, and these islands is go out in the sea, and sometimes the music is same, is come together, and if I think I have to show it, which is my tradition, how I can go to the music. It's okay, where's my tradition? How I can read it, and how I can use my instrument, how I can work together my teacher. It's very interesting in Hungary. I'm a Hungarian, and you know, the first music school director in Hungary was the Mozart friend Stalder. When Mozart had many friends, the sponsors, now we say the sponsors, and in the monarchy, the Kaiser und König, it was the Hungarian and, not Hungarian, it's Austrian and Hungarian.
That's different.
Yeah, that's different. The empire and king. And meet in Vienna, and was the sponsor Mozart. Mozart was the very friendship for this, and recommended these people. Okay, the background was the money when he's borrow big money for Stalder. He was the card player and gambler and drinker and so on, and he need come back the money, and recommended go to Esterháza, Haydn was before, and go to Keszthely. It was the big canvas, very rich people. And after, in Hungary we have not classic musician. When the classic musician go to Vienna, in Hungary was the music, it's mean the music, it's just another story, the gypsy music. The gypsy played the Hungarian music. It was half classical, half farmer music, country music, and so also it's a very nice. And the Liszt founded the Music Academy 1875. And the first clarinet player, the teacher, was student of these people, Stalder. After come another student for these people, it was Böhm. The name was Böhm, not the clarinet. The Böhm, and his student was Franz Förster, or Förster Ferenc in Hungarian. He was 25 years long, first clarinet, solo clarinet player in the Bayer, the Festspiel in Wagner House, the Wagner Orchestra, the Wagner Festspiel House, and the Hungarian clarinet player, and the Hungarian Music Academy teacher. His student was, my teacher, his student was my teacher, teachers, okay? Now when I have the very white hair, and I think about why I play the Mozart a little bit just another, why I listen it, and when I remember when we are playing the Mozart opera or just another thing, and I listen for these possibilities in orchestra. It's very interesting. And many famous conductor come from Hungary. Now I can buy some his master voice. You know this level. His master voice and Decca and RCA have the series, the opera, and it's have some flyer. I can look who was the conductor, and look, Scholti. Wow, I played with Scholti. Lamberto Gardelli. Wow, I many times played together with Lamberto Gardelli. Alberto Erede. Wow, I played too many times to Alberto Erede in Hungary. And I was very proud. Wow, it was my school. Wow, it's very, very good. Who can say about when can play for the very big old conductors? Who has some tradition? Come, bring some tradition and give. Yes, we need, absolutely, we need, or I question, we need absolutely for the very, very technical education. You know, now, what's happened? I was teaching the music academy, in the Hungarian Music Academy. I have many, many students. And the end of the concert, they play Mozart or Francais or Cruzel or I don't know, for the big clarinet concerto. It was in June, and September is beginning the school in Hungary and find some job. And many people cannot find just a direct another job and go to the basics music school. And he meet for the F major, da, 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 and how you can blow the first tone, the first sound in the clarinet. Do, do, and which is the first tone? The G or E or F or what? Is a big question. I don't know. Where's the first sound in Slovenia?
E.
A, yeah. Why we need for the very big, for a very, very big technical education, or we need some very good basic knowledge about the style, about the music, about the style. For example, the style. We are stop the style. How many styles we know the clarinet? Okay, we know the clarinet, it's beginning with Mozart, the classical. But it has the big problem. We have not too much document for this time. About 300 years ago, it's only the book, only the letter, no recording, no photo, no nothing. The next was romantic. The romantic, it's more rich. When we have the last is Brahms, or we can speak about a little bit the first time is Bartók and Mahler, and the first time it was the change by the century, the 20th century. We have many memory about this time, and is really we are play very, very good the classical style, or we are play a little bit more romantic elements for this style. And after come another question: how we can play? Now I say the modern composer, and the modern composer I think about Bartók, Stravinsky. For example, the Stravinsky, 3 pieces, which is the absolute okay playing for the 3 piece. Is everybody know this piece? Is a 3 parts, and how we can play, which is the okay. Many years ago, I read it about the article in the ICA Clarinet newspaper, and say the story as the black Dixieland band go to Switzerland and play their the jazz, and Stravinsky go to the pub and listen playing this, and the clarinet player was very sad when was the young marriage, and like go back to the USA, and he's not go out in the break, he sit and sometimes practicing, you know, and it was very, very sad, some blues theme, and it is the first part. And the last is the syncopation, is the jazzy and swing. Okay, and a little bit later I read it another article, and they say as a Hungarian gypsy band play in Swiss, and Stravinsky have a good friend, Aladar Raz, the cymbalonist, and very like it for this, and the last movement is the gypsy, as the gypsy dance. It's true or not? Was this true? And sometimes this article, I can read it, I forget where I think, but I read it. The first movement have a title, the prophet, the prophet, the prophetic. Indian. The second movement is the bird. And the second, you know, who know it? Who know it? Maybe you have to find, you have to read it about. Where is the difference? Where is the board? I can play so very well. And after come the absolute modern player, up to date, who used very, very special technique, frullato and so on, so on, so on, is find some new way for the clarinet. It's okay. Now in the Hungary, in the music academy, is have the classical music academy, have the jazz music academy, and now is have the folks music academy. And the last time I can speak about with the director. I congratulations for you is have the very modern is the folk academy. I say yeah folk academy is okay. And I say there I come the same diploma I have. I can play the Mozart concerto. The clarinet is not in the folk music. But he can play, and the same diploma when I have, and he. Or the violin player. The violin player is play the Hungarian gypsy music, not gypsy, but the Hungarian country music, and play some only the three string parts. Play a Vivaldi, or play a Paganini, or Mozart. I say now it is the very new style. Blah 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 blah. It's okay, but the same diploma, it's same. Why? What? Okay, how I can developing the music? How I can? It's enough one time for a note, or I looking for the note and I listen the music. And what music I listen? You know, if you go to the studio, you can find is the very, very expensive machines there. There's a computer and the sound generator and the microphone about, and so on, so on, about 50,000 or more euros. It's very, very nice machine. And while you listen for MP3, and you can buy about 20 euro or 25. And for earphone or wow. And what you can listen, only the sound, or you can listen the music. If I buy some loud speaker system, I go to London about 25 years ago, and I go to the hi-fi shop, and I say, I like to buy some loudspeaker. I say, okay, how money you have? And I say, I don't know. I like it, very, very good. If I like it, I buy. Not like it. And he say, okay, I show you my first and best loudspeaker, and together with the we say is the lens. It's together. Everything is a CD player and
mixer. And
yes, everything. He say it's very, very expensive. It's really you cannot buy. But now we listen the sound for this one, and we go cheaper, 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 and cheaper. And you have to say when you don't listen the music. Not the sound. He say if you don't listen the music. And of course, we go the cheaper, and I say, I don't listen to music. Okay, and we go down, and I can buy, I don't know, with 300 or 400 pounds, I can buy. It's very, very good. I can listen to music. But for the MP3, sometimes it's no music. What's the music? There's a big question. How I can play the music? A few years ago, I teach for the student who cannot listen. Hear the student play the clarinet. When we have the very big possibilities, the bond listening. Here, the resonating the mouthpiece, okay, and the resonating for the air, and it's go down through. You cannot try. You speak and making this one, and you have to some contract. It's the same when you go to the studio and play and listen to music, and the many channel recording system. You have to listen it. And I have 10-15 students, and okay, the first walk E, D, C. It was the first. When we have the third one, we can play the very, very basic Hungarian children song. And who cannot make a music and cannot listen have to be different. One was as a musician, play another. Why? Where is the music? It's okay. So I speak about for the cymbalist, Olodar Lác. Is a very nice old gypsy people, good friend with Igor Stravinsky. And Stravinsky composed for him the polka and ragtime for cymbal. He say, where's the music? And where is the nice sound? He say, heart and ear together. Okay, but sometimes it's okay, but these people cannot listen. Where is the music? As a tradition, or how you can make? And sometimes I think you are meet about when you sit in the music school and come the student for the pre-exam, and you listen and okay, I tell this story and you can understand it. I was the member in the jury in London, and I don't know why. Maybe it's she has died.
Angela.
Angela.
Angela Fassel.
Yeah, Angela is organized it for me in the jury, but it was the saxophone. I can play the saxophone, but I have not saxophone player. and I sit in the jury. And another side, it was the Royal Academy of Music saxophone teacher. Another was, I don't know, another big saxophone teacher. That's okay. And come 3 people. Come the girl who was very, very talented, and he was a musician, and make one mistake. After come another girl, he was talented, but not so big talented with the first, but play without the mistake. And after come the man, and he played good without the mistake and the music. And after we go in the jury room and we are speak about, and I was the Hungarian, no English, and say, okay, you speak the first. What's your opinion? And I say, oh, you are the big professors, but it's my opinion. Who lady make the mistake? For me is the first, another lady the second, and I say, okay, you are a musician, we also say also, let's go. It's okay, but sometimes not, it's happened. I was another competition, and sometimes I listen some the people who was very, very resistant for music and making very nice music, maybe make some small mistakes, and the jury say, was many mistakes. Okay, and the music? Very precise. And you cannot say nothing. Yes, it was precise. It's a digital technique. Okay, have some problem. Okay, have some the intonation problem. Okay, I have a layout or some peripheral program, and I say push the button. Okay, no more intonation mistake. And same also as the story. You play the Bach sonata with Pablo Casas, and Pablo making one small mistakes. It was not so nice, or have some sound another string, or sometimes, and the sound engineer say, excuse me sir, we have to repeating. You say, why? When it's have some, say, it's a human music, I have not robot. But before was a very nice, I cannot nicer making. So I think I have the same story. Come one time is the Greekish concert maker, and his hobby was the music. And he's taken money for the Hungarian radio orchestra, and he's conducting the old Beethoven symphony. And you know, it's have the 6 symphonies have the very nice clarinet solo. And I play. It was very, very nice. Sometimes it's come back together everything, but one violin player was a little bit too ill. And and I say, okay, no problem, again. But the second time, come just another. You cannot play 2 times the same, no, or 3 times, or 5. And the next time, every 9th symphony, I have to beginning for this. We are trying. I play about 60 times or 70 times. And she say, no, it was very nice, but I like when you play first. And I say, oh, there is the first. I cannot play more first. The first is not. Only one. You know, I like to speak for you about this theme. Tomorrow, I'd like if you can make together with your instrument. Okay, when I like some speaking about the technique, and I'd like to show you a little bit a technique, how you can a little bit changed. Maybe I know when we are rebuilding some new one, we have to a little bit cleaning, and after comes some new one. And if you're interested, I like to show how you can improvising about for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sound for the time, and for jazz or for classical, for everything. Hi you, okay, it is the only one time, and we cannot make some the big things when you have to arrive. Everything, and you are very young, and you cannot listen about. I am not so young. For the teaching and for everything, for the music is very, very important. The time, leave a time, the time. But it's the same with a 3 or for another. If I make a direction, if I make for this direction, the 3, it's making come for this direction and me. And I think it's very, very important for the first steps. When it is the very important direction, how you can show it, or for me, when sometimes it's coming for the serpent. It's okay, everybody have the serpent, me too. Sometimes it's not to serpent, it is the snare, okay? It's the same circle. But we go up, and smaller, I hope. But sometimes no, sometimes the people is go a circle. Okay, it's very, very important, and I like show for you something about how you could a little bit nearer, or not so big circle game. Go. Excuse me for my English. As the last year I live in German and I forget everything. I forget. Excuse me for the provocative people. but many times. You know, is that okay? It's only one after. Don't forget. As the gypsy said in Hungary, it's not so big problem. You are not so good musician, but no play. It's okay. You know, as I was a many master class. As come the people, and what do you like playing? Say the Francais concerto. And I listen and I say, wow, I am now, I have to speak about, I'm so very clever, I can say for you. But I say, please langsam, please slowly again, or how I can take it. But sometimes he play very well, but why? Because I'm not interesting me, not interesting for the publicum, and sometimes they say, oh okay, he can play the Francais. Okay, and what time you can play the Francais in the live as a good orchestra, or sometimes 2 pianists. When 1 pianist cannot play the Francais, or 2 pianists. Or how you can play, for example, the Nielsen concerto. Is have many for the small snare drums. It's have to play only the orchestra. Okay, how many times you listen a clarinet, a really clarinet concerto in the year? How many times listen you in 1 year, for example, the Mozart quintet? As a normal life, the normal life in Budapest, sometimes 0. No clarinet program. Sometimes come a star and play some, I don't know, and for what? But how many times play the Mozart concerto or Mozart quintet or Brahms quintet, or how many times? Sometimes 0, 1 year or 1 time, or 5 years, 3 times. It's a big problem. It's a big problem. How I can sell it, my art? Who like listen it for every day? Or the people say, okay, oh, today I have not time, I have not so good feeling. Okay, I show the television. Okay, sometimes a movie. Which movie? Yes, well, some as a killing movie, or a horror, or a crime, or I don't know. And look, the television and what's happened, how I can use my listening, or for example, I go to concert and I listen. I was at home in December. I have a 2 months break. And I listen for the radio. Afternoon is have some concert, and the small Stefan will play from Brahms. And I go to the radio. And I will show, you are here. Yes, I said, why not? I need for the music listening. You here. Was it normal? Why not? I am free. I go to concert. Was never, no more clarinet player then.
No.
It's a big problem, you know, it's a big problem, and I think in the future we have to change. We have to change. When we cannot change, its will be has died everything. When we cannot work about the new publicum for the concert hall, the next step we don't need for the big orchestra. The orchestra we don't for the music teacher, and after it's nothing. When the Jane Krupa is the jazz drummer, he was in the Downbeat magazine. He was the best one. And the reporter go there and say for the very provocative, who is the best drummer? After when he was the best drummer, and they say Ringo Starr. They say Ringo Starr with a why? And he say he has the big money. you know, you have to careful. So okay. Another question? Good. So maybe tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.